Good day, everyone. Welcome to V-Class TV. This is Teacher Jackie. This week, we will focus on context clues and use of nonverbal cues in oral interpretation. For that, we have the following learning objectives to tackle this week. Welcome to Day 1. Today, we are going to start with a review and talk about analogy and appositives. Let's begin with a short review on synonyms and antonyms. Can you still remember what these are? Let's start with this activity. Identify which word in the sentence gives a clue on the meaning of the underlined word. Marites likes telling made-up stories which are all fabricated. Which word or phrase gives you a clue for the word fabricated? If you just said made up, your answer is correct. Made up is the synonym clue for the word fabricated. Let's continue with this sentence. The assignments given by the teacher are unreasonable. They are so tiresome. Which word gives you a clue for the word tiresome? If you answered unreasonable, then your answer is correct. Unreasonable is the synonym clue for tiresome. Let us have another sentence. Rico seems nonchalant about our difficult math exam, but he is actually quite worried. Which word gives you a clue for the word nonchalant? If you just answered worried, you got it right. Worried is the antonym clue for nonchalant. Antonyms are words having opposite meanings. Let's have this one too. David is so reckless when riding his motorbike. He should be more careful. Which word gives you a clue for the word reckless? If you answered careful, you got it right. Careful is the antonym clue for reckless. Always remember to read carefully between the lines. Clues are everywhere. You just have to find them in the sentence. Now, let's go on. Let us try this one. Complete the sentence prompts. Think of comparisons that will help in inferring the meaning of the highlighted words. Write your answer on your notebook. Here is a sample responses that will help you understand the comparisons. Let's begin with number 1. The gust of wind during a strong typhoon is like a roaring beast. Here, we compare the gust of wind to a roaring beast. For number 2, a volcanic eruption sounds like a bomb explosion. We compare volcanic eruption to a bomb explosion. Number 3, Anna's voice is as gentle as a hummingbird. Here we compare Anna's voice to a hummingbird. And number 4, sorrow feels like being cut by a knife. Before reading a story, we usually unlock some words that would help you understand it better. This time, we will focus on the context clues that you may find in the story. The first context clue is called analogy. Analogy refers to comparisons that help in identifying the meaning of the word. For example, She feels light like a feather. My father is as strong as a lion. Time is gold. The second context clue is called appositive. Appositive refers to a noun phrase that adds information about the noun before it. For example, my mother, the leader of the Parents Club, is organizing the Children's Day event. The youth, our nation's hope, should be proud of being a Filipino. And Vince brought his favorite food, carbonara, for the family picnic. Welcome to day 2. If you are learning from this video, like and subscribe for more. Today we are going to have an interesting story entitled Arachne the Spinner, as retold by Geraldine McCurkran. The story is about a skillful weaver named Arachne. She was talented but too proud. Find out what happens to her in our story. Before we proceed to the story, let us answer these questions first. 1. Where do you usually see spider webs or cobwebs? What do people usually do when they see this? 2. What do you feel when you see spiders? Why? And 3. The tale we are about to read is about a girl who was punished and turned into a spider. What could the girl have done to deserve such punishment? Now, let's get ready with our story of the day. Arachne the Spinner, retold by Geraldine McCurkran.
I have a story to tell. It's from a time I remember so well.
Arachne the Spinner, retold by Geraldine McCurkran. Once, when all clothes and clothes were woven by hand, there was a weaver called Arachne, more skillful than all the rest. Her tapestries were so lovely that people paid a fortune to buy them. Tailors and weavers came from miles around just to watch Arachne at work on her loom. Her shuttle flew to and fro, and her fingers plucked the strands as if she were making music rather than cloth.
"The gods certainly gave you an amazing talent,"
said her friends.
Gods, Budkins, there's nothing the gods could reach me about weaving. I can weave better than any god or goddess.
Her friends turned rather pale.
Better not let the goddess Athen hear you say that.
Don't care who hears it. I'm the best there is,
said Arachne. But of course, we have some questions to answer as we go along the story. For this part, let us pause to answer these 4 questions first. 1. What is Arachne's skill? 2. Why is Arachne popular? How popular is she? 3. What did Arachne say that shocked her friends? And 4. What is the trait of Arachne that might displease the gods? An old lady sitting behind her examined the yarns Arachne had spun that morning, feeling their delightful texture between finger and thumb.
So, if there were a competition between you and the goddess Athen, you think you would win,
she said.
She wouldn't stand a chance,
said Arachne.
Not against me.
All of a sudden, the old lady's gray hair began to float like smoke about her head and turned to golden light. A swish of wind blew her old coat into shreds and revealed a robe of dazzling white. She grew taller and taller until she stood head and shoulders above the crowd. There was no mistaking the beautiful gray-eyed goddess Athen.
"Let it be so,"
declared Athen.
"A contest between you and me."
Arachne's friends fell on their faces in awe. But Arachne simply threaded another shuttle. And although her face was rather pale and her hands did tremble a little, she smiled and said,
A contest then, to see who is the best weaver in the world.
To and fro went the shuttles, faster than birds building a nest. Athene wove a picture of Mount Olympus. All the gods were there, heroic, handsome, generous, clever, and kind. She wove all the creatures of creation onto her loom. And when she wove a kitten, the crowd sighed.
Ah.
When she wove a horse, they wanted to reach out and stroke it. Along her sat Arachne, also weaving a picture of the gods. But it was a comical picture. It showed all the silly things the gods had ever done, dressing up, squabbling, lazing about, and bragging. In fact, she made them look just foolish as ordinary folk. But oh, when she pictured a butterfly sitting on a blade of grass, it looked as if it would fly away at any moment. When she wove a lion, the crowd shrieked and ran away in fright. Her sea shimmering and her corn waved, and her finished tapestry was more beautiful than nature itself. Athene laid down her shuttle and came to look at Arachne's weaving. The crowd held its breath. Enjoying the story so far? Let's pause first for these 5 questions. 1. Did Arachne agree to compete with the goddess Athene? How confident was she that she will win? 2. What happened to the old lady after Arachne accepted the challenge? 3. How did Arachne perform in the contest? What did she weave on the cloth? 4. What did Athene weave on the cloth? 5. Which weaving was better?
You are the better weaver,
Said the goddess.
Your skill is matchless. Even I don't have your magic.
Arachne preened herself and grinned with smug satisfaction.
Didn't I tell you as much?
But your pride is even greater than your skill,
Said Athene.
and your irreverence is past all forgiving.
She pointed at Arachne's tapestry.
Make fun of the gods, will you? Well, for that, I'll make such an example of you that no one will ever make the same mistake again.
She took the shuttle out of Arachne's hands and pushed it into her mouth. Then, just as Athene had changed from an old woman into her true shape, she transformed Arachne. Arachne's arms struck into her sides and left her only her long, clever fingers. Straining and scrabbling, her body shrank down to a black blob no bigger than ink blot. An end of thread still curled out of its mouth. Athene used the thread to hang Arachne up on a tree and left her dangling there.
Weave your tapestries forever,
Said the goddess.
and however wonderful they are, people will only shudder at the sight of them and pull them to shreds.
It all came true, for Arachne had been turned into the first spider, doomed forever to spin webs in the corners of rooms, in bushed and in dark, upswept places. And though cobwebs are as lovely a piece of weaving as you'll ever see, just look how people hurry to sweep them away.
Let's go where time stands still. Let's go where dreams are real. Let's go where laughter's and tears make the world you call fairy tale.
Now we're down to the last set of questions. 1. Why did Athene turn Arachne into a spider? And 2. How does the story of Arachne explain why people sweep away spider webs? I hope you enjoyed the story. If you missed some parts of it, you may watch it again as homework. Welcome to Day 3. If you want more of our educational content, follow V-Class TV on Facebook and TikTok. Now, let us try to point out the context clues in the following sentences, which are from the story Arachne the Spinner. For activity 1, you are going to underline the analogy clues in the sentence. Item number 1. Her shuttle flew to and fro, and her fingers plucked the strands as if she were making music rather than cloth. 2. All of a sudden, the old lady's gray hair began to float like smoke about her head and turned to golden light. If you underlined her fingers plucked the strands as if she were making music rather than cloth for number 1, then you got it right. Now you may ask yourself, what kind of weaver is being described if she plucks the strands as if making music? What makes you say that? Now, this is how analogy works. Let's continue with this on your notebook. Number 3. To and fro went the shuttles faster than birds building a nest. Number 4. In fact, she made them, the gods and goddesses, look just as foolish as ordinary folk. And number 5. And though cobwebs are as lovely a piece of weaving as you'll ever see, just look how people hurry to sweep them away. Now let us see if you got the correct answers. For number 3, the correct answer is shuttles faster than birds building a nest. Number 4, as foolish as ordinary folk. 5. Now let us have activity 2. Underline the appositive clues in the sentence. Item number 6. Better not let the goddess Athene hear you say that. And number 7, there was no mistaking the beautiful gray-eyed goddess Athene. Again, you are looking for the appositive clues. So, for number 6, if you answered the goddess, you got it right. And for number 7, if you answered the beautiful gray-eyed goddess, then you got it correct again. Now, let us have activity 3. Underline the analogy or appositive clues in the sentence and then answer the question following each sentence. We have number 1. Arachne skillfully weaves cloth like making magic. Again, you are going to underline the analogy or appositive clues in the sentence, and then you are going to answer this question. How skillful is Arachne in weaving if she weaves cloth like magic? Number 2. Arachne wove designs that are colorful as summer flowers. What colors are Arachne's designs if they are colorful as summer flowers? Number 3. Athene appeared wearing a beautiful robe that was white as snow. Describe the color of Athene's robe. 4. Arachne looked nervous. She turned pale as a ghost. Why would turning pale as a ghost mean that one is nervous? And number 5, the talented spinner Arachne was too boastful. Who is Arachne? Now I am going to show you which part of the sentence should be underlined. Welcome to day 4. If you are interested in the PowerPoint presentation used in this video lesson, join our growing channel now. Have you ever tried doing the reader's theater? If not, then that is what we are going to do next. This is a group activity. You are going to work with your group. Now, assign roles, prepare headpieces, that is if you want, that is actually optional, practice blocking, and rehearse reading. These are the materials that you would need. Copies of the script, which will be provided by your teacher, the headpieces that maybe you would make, and then also the stools, that is also optional. Practice well with your group as you will be graded according to this criteria. Present the story to the class and listen to the feedback and comments of your teacher. Do well! That's all for this week. I hope you enjoyed our lesson. Join our growing channel if you wish to avail of the PowerPoint materials that I am using. Once again, this has been Teacher Jackie saying discover, learn, have fun only at V-Class TV. Until next time.